In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my blog analytics and pretty much just letting you all up and through my business to see how things have been going and what my plans are in order to increase my page views. Now, that needs to happen if I want to get accepted to the ad network I want to be on, because we all want that coveted spot of passive income by sharing ads on our website. At least I do anyway. But today I'm going to talk all about it and break it all down in this video. Stay tuned. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, I'm Nakisha. Welcome to the winning team. Now today I'm going to be breaking down all of my blog analytics and letting you in on what's been happening on my blog and the journey that I'm getting ready to go on. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in my last video I shared a little bit about my history with blogging and how things have gone for me over the last couple of years. So in the next 6 months, I'm going to be attempting to get my blog page views to 50,000. Listen, I'm just out here. I'm not sure if this is even possible. I'm just saying that I'm about to try it. I don't know, but I'm honestly super excited for the journey and super excited to see if I'll stick with it or if I'll stay with it, because, you know, yeah, I've been a little all over the place, and I'll kind of talk about that in today's video too. But I'm going to be going on a journey to see if I can get these page views to 50,000 so that I can get on Mediavine. Now, if you don't know, Mediavine is simply an ad network that bloggers can get on so that you can showcase ads on your website. It is not the only ad network. There are several more to choose from. It's just that I have a lot of blogging friends that are on Mediavine, and they talk very, very highly of it, and they highly recommend it. Now, as I was digging through Google Analytics over the last couple of weeks, the unfortunate thing is that my page views have dropped substantially. I'm not sure why. I know there are some seasonal posts that did well toward the end of the year last year, and you know, obviously it's seasonal, so it's not a post that continues to bring traffic into my site. Now, full transparency, over the last 6 months to a year, I really haven't been that focused on my blog itself, right? There are some posts that I go in and I make sure that they're doing good, certain pages on the site that I go in and I make sure they're good, because that's where I make my money from. But I really haven't been like overly creating new content. I have not been just like really focused in on my site like that, because to be honest, the money that I make comes from social media, comes from coaching clients, and I do some sponsorships that includes my blog as well. But I just have not been hyper focused on creating new content for the site, and that has to change if I want to get these page views where I need to see them at. Again, if you've looked at my last video, you'll know why that is. But going forward, I am really going to commit to doing a lot more new content. So the goal of this next 6-month journey is for me to take very specific action in order to attempt to get to where I want to be with my page views. That's simply going to be for me to increase my page speed, because that's something that I noticed was an issue on my site. 2, post more content on my blog itself. 3, share out that content more than I have been doing currently. 4, be intentional about the type of content that I post. And 5, stick to the plan. That's one of my biggest things. Like, I have so many other things going on that sometimes it's hard for me to stay focused in on the projects that I have going on. Enough of me rambling about all of that. Let's head over to the computer and let's get into these numbers. Okay, so I'm at the computer and I have Google Analytics pulled up, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about, how things have kind of fluctuated, or not fluctuated, fell off over the last couple of months, so that we can look at the numbers and kind of see what I need to do going forward to get to where I need to be. Okay, so remember I was saying that my page views had dropped significantly over the last couple of months here. So this is the page views from December 1st to December 31st, which is the last month of 2020. And you see here that the page views were 10,220, right? And so the last Build Your Blog With Me I did, I believe it was in October. And so that's kind of what I was used to seeing my page views at. But let's take a look here at and so I can show you what I'm talking about, how things have just drastically decreased. Okay, so January we were still 10,000. Let's go to February here. 10,385 for the month of January. February, we're still 10,093 in February. Let's look at March. Here we are in March, 7,674. So a drastic dip from February to March for me. And one thing that I think, and I have not dug into this, and I need to dig into this, is that I really think that because I do a lot of content around money, finances for families and everything like that, January and February were still good for me, because you still had those, get your money back in order, and what to do with your tax return and all that kind of stuff. Type of content that I have on my blog did good, and they do good in those months. And then March, boom, we just fell off. The page views drastically dropped, and I wasn't paying attention to it, honestly, at that time. And this time I want to say I was working with about 5 clients at that time. And so I was focused on my client work. But let's move on to April. You see it went up a tiny bit to about 8,000 views in April. And then May here, we have, again, still 8,000. Let's see what we did in June. June we did 7,800. Okay, and so here we are, we're in July, and we got to get this together. So you see what I'm saying about things having fluctuated? Like, things really have fallen off. And actually looking at that last number, it is a tiny bit discouraging knowing how far I have to go, but doesn't mean I'm still not going to go on the journey. But yeah, looking at that number is like, okay, we got some work to do. But what I want to do is kind of dig in a little bit deeper into the last 90 days at least, or maybe even the last 6 months, to kind of see what has been happening on the site, where it's worth spending my time. Do I just need to start from scratch and try to gain traction in other areas? Because that's kind of what I'm going to be doing also. Just kind of looking at what's doing well now and trying to continue in that direction. So let's jump into that. Okay, now going back to the main page, I noticed this right here. It says that Pinterest has a low session duration, which is really interesting to me. I have been getting some traffic from Pinterest, and this is telling me that the bounce rate is really, really high coming from Pinterest, and that people are not staying on the site. I'm not sure how that makes me feel. I have heard that that happens with Pinterest. So I'm going to dig in right here to just kind of see. Okay, so you see that we're here under social, and in the month of July, the top preferring social network was YouTube, and then second was Pinterest. So I'm going to kind of dig into Pinterest and see what posts they're looking at, so that I know why maybe they're bouncing like that. But let's see. Oh, it doesn't tell you that. But I can look on my Pinterest and see what pins were like, my refers and everything, to kind of see why that's like that. Now let me say this, I'm not a Google Analytics pro, okay, but I know it's important to look at your numbers and know your numbers, and I used to be the girl that hated doing that because it just made me feel so crappy. I'm just being honest, it did. It made me feel crappy, but I know this is super, super important in order to make progress. You got to know where you're at, right? So let me just say that I'm not a pro. If you see something and then you can offer some advice on that, feel free to do that down in the comments. But I'm just gonna be going through it at the surface level to see what I can see to come up with my new strategy for this. Okay, just wanted to say that. We want to go to behavior, and we're going to go to the overview for the behavior. Where's the, okay, so we're right now currently, we're just looking at June's page views, which is very, not good at all. But what I want to do is go and look over the last 6 months. I want to see over the last 6 months what my page views were like. Look, this, y'all, this is the number I'm trying to get to monthly. Oh my goodness. And literally that's all I got on the site in the last 6 months. So, oh my goodness, that is very, very discouraging. If I may be honest, that is very discouraging. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to go to the acquisition page. Basically, this is going to tell me where my traffic is coming from. So I want to look at this so that I know where the traffic is coming from, so that I know where to focus my time and attention to when I go to promote these next couple of blog posts over the next couple of months. As you can see, the number one is going to be your organic search. With this organic search here, a good idea for honing down on this is to take a look inside of your Google Search Console. Google Search Console will give you very specifically the key terms that you're ranking for on Google and what people are searching to get to your blog. So I'll be taking a look at Google Search Console to see number one specifically, because that's not listed in here. We're gonna go next to social, which is my highest referring channel. Obviously number one being YouTube, and I am going to spend a lot more time on YouTube doing promotion, period. Like, I'm just going to be open and honest with you all with that. So I hope that you bear with me and support me in that because yeah, most of my social traffic comes from YouTube. It makes sense. I mean, let's be honest, it makes sense. Then next we got Pinterest, which is very interesting to me because yeah, even though I've been spending a little bit of time on Pinterest over the last couple of months, still I haven't put that much effort into it like I have, I would say, over the last month or two. For me, it's still not giving me the return that I would expect from Pinterest based on how some of my other blogger friends get their traffic. But you know, I don't know, maybe it takes time, maybe I'm expecting miracles when it's not that anymore. I'm not sure. And then after that you have Instagram, which is a little surprising because I don't even share my blog posts on Instagram at all, but that is good to know. It's not a lot, 283, but maybe I can start sharing a little bit more from that. So now looking at that lets me know where I am. You know, it shows me where I am from a bird's eye view and what I need to do in order to make some traction over the next couple of months. And to be just frank, it's kind of discouraging, you know, to be honest, it really is. But it still doesn't mean that I won't push forward and continue to do it, because the entrepreneurship can be a little discouraging at times. You know, there are those moments to where things just look like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna work out, but you know, here we go. That's how it was in the beginning, you know, when you don't have an audience, when people aren't talking back to you. It's like, why am I doing this again? Or is this gonna work out? Were those people right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna push forward, and I'm still going to work toward the goal, you know, because at the end of the day, if I truly wanted to just get on a ad network, I know that in 6 months I can do that, and I'll be and I'll be in a much better place just to make more on that other ad network if I don't get on the one that I want to go on. But we're hopeful that we're going to get to the 50,000. That's where our focus is going to be. We're really going to deep dive into my numbers even more to see where I need to focus, you know, and that's what I'm going to do going forward. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, any comments, or anything like that down in the comments below. Help a sister out, help me help you. Let's just help each other, and let's talk about it down in the comments below. After you do that, go ahead and check out another video on your girl's channel, specifically this one right here, and I'll see you all in the next one.